Brian looks at a woman and feels this sense of hatred. Oh, she's wearing leggings. That means she's a whore, right? She's blonde, so that must mean she's dumb, right? She's drinking Dunkin' Donuts and Starbucks in the morning. She's just like any other girl, right? She has a tank top on. She's a slut. She's wearing Air Force One. She's like every other girl. Look at her. Look at her. Look at her. All of these girls, they're whores, sluts. Ah! But Alexander doesn't feel this way. See, when Alexander looks at a woman, he feels gratitude. When Alexander looks at a woman, instead of suppressing his sexual desire, he looks at a woman and feels that desire build up. But because he learned how to breathe, he uses that desire, that energy to move him forward. When he looks at a woman wearing leggings, wearing tank tops, wearing skirts, short skirts, he doesn't judge her. And if he wants to, he goes to talk to her. See, back when I entered my first year of high school, I used to look at all the girls in my grade, and I used to judge them relentlessly. I'd see one woman wearing leggings, and I'd call her name after name after name after name in my head. Just imagine that. You see a nice, pretty, beautiful woman who you don't know nothing about her. You don't know her name. You don't know whatever. Maybe she's donating millions of dollars to charity. Just imagine that for a second. But imagine you just feel this rage towards her. You just can't explain it. But you feel like when she's around, you feel worse. But you blame that on her. Imagine when you're walking down the street, you see a woman walking by with anything other than a sundress, and you just wish she fell down a cliff. Or you wish that she'd never be happy. Or maybe just imagine you're even angrier because you feel desire for that woman, but you keep telling yourself you don't. See, this is the problem that a lot of us men have. And there's many causes, but a lot of it, or the main cause, is due to our lack of ability to be with these women. See, we claim to hate them. We claim to not like them. But our biology is speaking something different. I want you to imagine this for a second. Imagine a man who keeps this mindset since 12 years old. He got onto the bad side of social media and started to despise women. Because, 40% of marriages end in divorce, and, most of them are by women. Oh, all women would cheat. And all of this nonsense stuff. Imagine that's ingrained to his head since the day he was young. Now imagine that was you since you were young, so scrolling on TikTok, scrolling on Instagram Reels, watching mindless YouTube videos, and it's just in your head now. Now you're 16 years old, and it's just your first thought process. You don't consciously think about hating women. It's a subconscious thing now. Imagine that's you. And this goes on until you're 20, and this goes on until you're 30, and this goes on until you're 40, and now you're 50 years old. And you don't talk to any woman. Why? Because you haven't found that perfect woman in that sundress with the barn, with the super hyper masculine father, with the super hyper feminine mother, right? Oh, because you aren't making enough the amount of money that you want to make, right? Oh, because you don't have the perfect 10 out of 10 physique, right? You just find all these things and you blame it on the woman. Imagine that's you, 50 years old. You haven't kissed anybody. You don't know what it feels to have a woman's hand touch your arm since it was your mother. Imagine that. You are 50 years old. You're starting to gray out. Your physical capabilities going down. You don't even know if you can nut anymore. Is that the life you want to live? Is that the life you want to live with Brian? Or do you want to live like Alexander, who sees these women and doesn't judge? He sees them for who they are. Because he understands it is not fair to hate women. Because you were putting your own expectations on them when they didn't ask them to be there. I don't know how many times I'll have to say this, but Alexander, he understands this. These women, they didn't ask for your expectations to go on them. Not everybody has to be the hero in your story. That's not how this works. Not every woman has to wear the sundress that goes down to their ankles. Not every woman has to ride a horse to school to prove that they're a farm girl. Not every woman has to have their only contact a mother and their father to prove that they're super loyal and raised well. So why do you think like this? Do you? Because think back. I mean, imagine you had a sister and she's wore leggings or tank tops or this and that. Are you going to hate her? Are you going to despise your sister, your own blood, your own family? The thing that you treasure so much in these women, you're going to despise your own? Is that what this is? Are you going to be like Brian, who wishes his sister would understand one day? And just keep on trying to feed this imperative in her mind, but that only distances them both? Is that what you want to live? The life you want to live? Is this what you want to do? Because imagine that. You have women in your family and they don't love you. Or maybe they say they love you, but they don't respect you. Because you never took a second to see what they're going through. To see it, not even from their own perspective, to see it from outside of your own perspective. And this is what Alexander understands. He doesn't suppress his own natural desire for women. When he sees a woman who's wearing leggings, yeah, heck yeah, he's gonna feel some sexual desire. He can choose to act on it or not act on it, but he understands that it's there. And it doesn't matter if you're a Christian or not, because you understand it's still there. Lying to yourself is the same thing as lying to anybody else, and that's a sin. So what are you doing? Right? What are you doing? Because when Brian sees a girl, he denies the fact that he has a rock hard boner on right now. Is that what you're doing? Because that's what happened to me my first year of high school. That's what I was going through. Imagine this. Your school is having a pep rally. If you don't know what that is, it's basically where the entire school, they go into one location. They have a bunch of like little games and stuff. They have the mascots. They have all the people, the principals, the teachers, and everyone's having a fun time. Okay? And you're sitting on top of the bleachers. You think you're the alpha male. So you're reading your Rich Dad, Poor Dad book, right? Ignoring everything that's happening. But eventually people start screaming too much so you can't focus. It's just like, okay, I'll submit. I'll just try to enjoy the situation. You don't sit with your friends, by the way. You sit alone. Because that's who you are. Super alpha Chad male, right? You're lone wolf, right? And you stand up on the bleachers and you look down and you see a girl wearing a skirt and you can see her knees. And imagine in your mind, because you've already been learning this since you were a kid, you just feel this rage, this indomitable rage, this uncontrollable anger about her, just on her, everything, because she does that. But at that same time, you have a heart on. See, the problem is you're not mad. You're not really mad at the fact she's wearing that skirt. You're mad because you have that heart on. Because you're submitting to that. And that's the problem which Alexander understands. And that's the problem you need to fix. Because if you already hate women, you've already failed. See, the thing is, it's not really woman that's the problem. And I know this may sound crazy, but hear me out on this. You're the problem. I'll say it again. You're the problem. And for me, it took me a lot of time to understand this. For my first 2 years of high school, I did not understand this. This is the way I thought. This is the way I acted. This is the way my mental model was. I was so obsessed and obsessed and obsessed with finding my future wife that I didn't realize anybody could honestly be my future wife. Obviously, I have preferences. But what I had, what you had, what we had, or even have, they're not preferences. They're fantasies. Because imagine every morning you wake up, the alarm goes off. You know you gotta go do your morning routine. You gotta go work out. You gotta go meditate. You gotta do your gratitude journal. You gotta go shower, do this and that, right? Nah. You snooze that alarm. And what do? You stay in bed so you can fantasize about a life with your dream wife. But you have no idea what she looks like. So it's just a random woman you've made up in your mind. Imagine that. Sitting back in bed, not because you're tired, because you want to fantasize. Fantasize about a woman you've never met. An imaginary woman. Your imaginary wife. Imagine that. Staying back in your bed when you got work to do to get the real wife. So just so you can imagine about the fake one. And it's okay because it's better than being one of those fake women, those whores, right? Those quote unquote whores, right? Those quote unquote sluts, right? That's what you want? Stay back in your bed fantasizing about what never happened. And then after that, you're already hard. So how do you solve your hardness? You go watch porn. Boom. Your day just started. You've wasted 20 minutes of your life. You've already had a porn session. And now you're 20 minutes behind schedule. You're going to have to miss your morning routine because you got to go to school. So you just got to shower and hurry up to go to school. And then the rest of your day is going to be horrible after that. Is that what you want? Is that the life you want to live? Because I've lived this life. I understand what it feels to live that life. But I am telling you, that is not the life you want to live. Now, instead of that, imagine this. You wake up out of bed, and instead of fantasizing, you have a woman right next to you. She's already there. I don't have to say much for this part, for this life. Because that enough shows the complete difference between the life you're living now and the life you could live. What are you doing? By hating these women, you're not solving nothing. You're making yourself worse. Seriously. Because it's not women that's the problem, it's you. Because if you just woke up one day and decided, you know what, I'm going to give everybody the benefit of the doubt. Just imagine that. You woke up and decided, you know what, I'm done hating just for today. Tomorrow I'll go back. But today I'm done hating. I'll see these women for who they are. And you see that one woman wearing leggings that you make fun of every time you walk into school? You see her on your way to your next class? You go talk to her. What do you find out? You find out she's an amazing person. Amazing personality. You find out that she has the same interests as you do. You find out she's even interested in you. She looks beautiful. She has a great body. Are you just gonna not talk to her anymore? Because she decided to wear leggings? Because she's just following the wave. And what says you're not as well? Because just imagine being so hypocritical. You hate on a woman for wearing leggings, but you follow every YouTube trend that comes up. Every time something trends, you try to copy that. You're following every wave too. Your fashion, even if you don't wear it, you want to wear what's popular. The new slang, you start using what's popular, right? Your hairstyle, you want to do what's popular, right? You hear that? Oh, there's a new trend of girls liking these type of men. You wish you could be that, don't you? Yes, you do. So imagine spending your days hating on another woman when you're not any better. You are not any better. So why do you do this? Because you've been fed a lie. Your whole life, you've been fed a lie that doesn't benefit you. Women are not the problem. I don't know why this idea of hating women, just moving women aside, moving half of the population away from you. Because me, in my life, I've met some very amazing, beautiful, both in physically and personality-wise, women that have helped me grow to where I am today. One of my own businesses, my business partner was a woman who I met. And although we don't communicate anymore, I share some great moments with her. Of course, I red pilled and game and whatnot. I understand what I did wrong back then. But there's a difference between hating women and failing with them. Because at least the guy who failed, he did something. What are you doing? You're hiding back in your shell. Get out of your shell. You're being pathetic. And you're talking about how you want to accomplish great things, right? You want to do it for your future kids? You want to do it for your future wife? You want to do it for your parents? You want to do it for your siblings? Well, how about you do something? Stop. Just stop it. Because what if one day you need to get that woman on board so you can go up the next level? What are you going to do? Hate on her? Of course not. But you've been hitting on her for so long, you don't know what to do. Just imagine that. You hitting on her for so long, the one time you need to talk to a woman, you don't know what to do. You sit there clueless because they're just so brain numb to just hating every single day. And you call yourself a professed Christian, hating on these people. You think you're doing good by looking for a godly wife. All you're doing is just hating on the people who aren't godly yet. Is this what Jesus would have wanted for you? No, it's not. So why are you hating on these women? It's simple. It's something simple that you just stop it all. That Alexander did. Because Alexander, he wasn't always the way he was. He was like Brian before. But what did he do to solve this issue he had? It started off with one. He made a female friend. And I know there's some guys who say you can't be friends with females. Just listen. Just imagine you're in Alexander's shoes. Every day you see a woman, and you just feel this hatred for them. Just imagine that, this ginormous hatred. But one day you decided, I want to change. And so imagine you see a girl who's maybe friends with one of your male friends. And you see an opportunity, so you go sit with her. And you go talk to her. Imagine that. You go talk to a woman. And even more than that, you talk to another human being. And maybe you find out that that particular person wasn't a good person, or maybe you didn't share the same vibes. But imagine this. You talk to her, and you find out that she's an amazing person with an amazing personality. And from then you realize women are people too. Become the antidote to chaos. Truce.